Hello ladies and gentlemen, today I will be explaining the Chernobyl disaster in detail. The Chernobyl disaster occurred in the city of Pripyat, Ukraine. At that time Ukraine was a part of USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. The Chernobyl disaster occurred on the 26th of April 1986 at 1:23 a.m. The reactor in Chernobyl was an RBMK 1000 reactor. This type of reactor was cheaper compared to its Western counterparts. A few terminologies coming up related to nuclear reactors. Moderators are those substances, graphite, that help increase the rate of reaction by slowing down the speed of the neutrons, thus making them more prone to collide with uranium-235. Control rods are made of substances, boron, that absorb neutrons, therefore decreasing the rate of reaction. The action of an unstable atom splitting into two parts to achieve stability. This process causes a huge amount of energy to be released as a byproduct. Fusion occurs when two atomic nuclei fuse together to form another, a heavier nucleus. The masses of the reactants is slightly greater than the mass of the product. The remaining mass is released in the form of energy. Nuclear reactors use fission because it is the most efficient method with respect to the technology we have available in our hands. The staff that were operating the Chernobyl reactors noticed that the power was going down dramatically because most of the control rods were raised from the reactor. The reactor essentially stalled. Due to the removal of control rods, the reactivity began to rise because there was nothing controlling the neutrons. This caused a sudden and huge increase in the power levels. To cope up with the increase in the reactivity levels in the chamber, the boron control rods had to be immersed back into the reactor to decrease the rate of reaction and bring it back to normal. The AZ5 button was a button that would immediately drop the boron control rods into the chamber. When the boron control rods are dropped, they decrease the rate of reaction by absorbing the neutrons. The boron control rods were tipped with graphite. When the AZ5 button was pressed, the control rods with tips of graphite were immersed into the chamber. Graphite acting as a moderator caused an impulse of energy to be released. This extra energy added with the heating core of the reactor caused a meltdown in reactor 4. The reactor meant to operate at 3,200 megawatts was operating at 33,000 megawatts. The lid of the reactor explodes, causing oxygen to rush in and power the combustion reaction, further amplifying the disaster. Neither the technicians nor the public knew about this fact. The pages were blacked out in the effect of graphite tips on the RBMK 1000 reactor. Valery Legasov brought the fact into light in his famous speech during the trial of the founders of the Chernobyl reactor. Increase of cases of cancer among children increased by 90%. Radioactive winds and radioactive rain. Approximately 9 million people affected due to radiation all over the world. Massive evacuations of 115,000 people. About 20 to 100 years from the present date it will be safe to visit. A concrete sarcophagus built around the Chernobyl reactor and the decommission of the reactor in the year 2000. The international community decided to build a $3 billion structure of 110 meters, taller than Statue of Liberty, and 260 meters wide, able to fit the Titanic. Please like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel.